Hello Riotards and welcome back to another New Vegas Run video. In today's video, we can only loot one container per named location. So if I loot Joe Cobb in Good Springs, I can't also loot Chet's cash registers. I can only do one or the other. Without any further explanation, let's get right into the video. At Doc Mitchell's, we wake up and choose to name ourselves the single worst name I've ever come up with for these challenge runs. Then we choose our special stats, with endurance, intelligence, and luck being our specialty, while everything else is at a 4. After that, we choose lockpicking, medicine, and melee weapons as our tag skills. Then finally, we choose skilled and trigger discipline for our traits. I decided the thing I wanted to loot for Good Springs would be the safe inside the school, so after dealing with all the mantises, we legally break open the safe and acquire drugs and money. I guess the pre-war elementary school kids never heard of rehab. I wanted to make sure we had some good weapons on us before dealing with Joe Cobb and the Powder Gangers, so we make our way down to Good Springs Source, where we choose to kill and loot Barton Thorne, and with our HP low enough to feel the inside of a coffin, we manage to beat him and obtain his 9mm and some clothes. Over at Gene's Skydiving, we loot this locker that had 2 police batons and a shotgun along with 9 bullets. We use our 9mm down the road at the Powder Gangers camp on some foolish little blue men for some quick and easy XP. We also get another 9mm pistol, and some dynamite. Up the hill from the camp is a camper, and the location is called the Lone Wolf Radio, where we only managed to get some junk we could sell. I then remembered Good Springs Cemetery and went back. Ooh, this is a good way to get some caps. Which we can only spend on stim packs. I'm not allowing myself to buy, like, ammo or anything like that. Only stimmies we can buy with monies. Fuck was that whisper? That was fucking creepy as shit. At the Devil's Gullet, we fight a coyote to the death in beautiful arena combat, but my efforts might as well have been unrewarded because the only loot worth taking was the Hydra in this dirty bathtub, before heading up to the Yangtze Memorial. Oh, there's a duffel bag here. I've actually never seen this duffel bag, I'm not gonna lie. Wow, this has a lot of shit in it. Two stim packs, dude. I'm fucking down with that. We make a stop at Sloan, and at this point, I felt like a card collecting addict looking for my next big Charizard. And oh baby, did I find my Charizard, in the form of 6 pulse grenades in this box for some fucking reason. We then go outside and heal Snuffle's leg for the quarry workers' morale. It's the least I could do after the 6 pulse grenades. We run all the way to the Powder Ganger Camp North location, where we fittingly use our police baton to bust their skulls open the minute they decide to go to bed. We confiscated some dynamite off this guy before heading over to the South Camp, where we just end up taking this singular piece of dynamite after not finding anything too good. With a lot of supplies in our hands, we are comfortable enough to help Good Springs out with their corn on the cob problem by using our bullets to make popcorn out of the cob's head. We go talk to Ringo to get this party started, but when we go over to the saloon and wait so we can talk to Sunny Smiles, Mr. Big Beatles fan himself gets super impatient and tracks me down. He asks if I'd talked to Sunny yet. Then, the literal nanosecond he goes away, Sunny and Trudy phase into existence. Finally, the Powder Gangers show up and we use our police baton to absolutely bash their brain matter out of their nostrils. The last one manages to hide behind this metal tower and blocks one attack before getting pummeled to the ground. The final location I want to check out in this area is the Good Springs Cave. After euthanizing the coyotes outside, we head into the cave and bash even more of them into a non-solid state before finding a recharging rifle on this Bright Follower. This is a very good thing because now we essentially have a gun with unlimited ammo. We immediately put it to good use back over at the prison, where we beam one of the random ones that came outside of the gate, then immediately kill Dawes by turning his atoms into good garden fertilizer, and grab his key, which I consider fair game since there isn't a way to lockpick this door. Inside, we throw a piece of dynamite and barely hurt any of them before we switch over to the boxing tape for no other reason than it sounded fun to toy around with them. We knock Myers down to the ground, and with the continuous stream of our hammer fists down on his head, apparently it wasn't good for his health, because he died. We finally kill the last one, and we end up choosing this one guy with a 10mm as our loot for the prison. Now that we have a really good amount of loot, we make our way back on the road with our next stop being Prim. We decide to go save Deputy Beagle while we're here, so inside the Bison Steve motel, we kill the convicts in the front entrance before facing their leader. Oh, okay, I actually got one of them with that. Oh, shit.
Come on. Come on.
Come on. Fucking blocking bitch.
Had enough?
Oh my gosh. Once he's defeated, we randomly decide to kill Deputy Beagle instead of freeing him. Then I decided to loot the convict's leader, since his incinerator would sell for a pretty penny. Just outside of Prim is a prospector that was right next to the California Sunset Drive-In, so we hit them with a baton and lead them inside the boundaries where we beat them to death, and for our efforts we are awarded a cowboy repeater off their corpse. Up the hill from that spot is the Lonesome Road wreckage, where we kill this coyote, then find this box with 4 frag grenades in it. At the Nevada Highway Patrol, we kill this Jackal gang leader with the recharger rifle, and we loot them as our container, because they had a 10mm and metal armor, which I wanted to save for dangerous encounters. We make sure we kill her partner in crime that is still hiding on the side of the building, but when we do catch him, we catch him tripping. On my block, that means you're getting cleavered to death. Just across the street is the Ivanpah Dry Lake, where we just get some random shit that we can sell. Over at the Ivanpah racetrack, we kill pretty much all of the ants here before heading to Nipton, where we enter the house with the bark scorpions, and lockpick this safe, that way we can grab this grenade rifle. I also grabbed the mission from Vulpes to spread the word of what happened here. I then had a good idea for my encounter at the Ivanpah racetrack. Oh my gosh, yes. Try to get him over here. Okay. Wasted that. It's a little bit closer. Want to make sure that nobody can say this didn't count. Yes! He ended up having a 10mm pistol and some nice leather armor on him. Not much, but we'll take it. Since we're already down here, we decide to take on the Nipton Road Pit Stop's gang problem. We take them down pretty easily with our 10mm, they never even get close to us. Our loot for this place is 5 frag grenades. We battle rad scorpions that surrounded the Nipton Road rest stop, then grab a plasma rifle and some other things off this bright follower. Up at the Mojave Outpost, we have Major Knight fix some of our gear for caps. This prepares us to fight the giant soldier ants down the road for Ranger Jackson, who is so happy when I return that he gives us our loot for this place, a service rifle and some weapon repair kits. For the first time in a long time, probably since I played this game, I went to the Mojave Drive-In, where the only thing good were these trash can cigarettes. We also go over to Bradley's shack, where we lockpick this medkit, to find nothing really good. Our frustration is taken out on these bighorners who get blown up with grenades and diced up with the cleaver. On top of the hill is Caesar's Legion safe house, where we use the classic summoning technique of waiting hours on end with a shiny bottle cap. Man, if only somebody could tell me what this blue bottle cap stands for.
Hello there.
Yes! Please don't run. Dude. Yes. Now we can have some extra bartering. Oh my gosh, dude. Sweet. I make a quick stop at Matthew's Animal Husbandry, where we loot this duffel bag that has an assortment of goodies, including a stim pack and a caravan shotgun. Over at the raided farmstead, the thing I decided to take is 2 things of leather armor out of this footlocker, which was a mistake because we end up getting ambushed afterwards by some Jackal gang members in full metal armor, and they're packing some submachine guns. Would have been way better, but oh well. At Wolfhorn Ranch, we take a little nappy poo, and we decide to take Chopper because it does a lot of damage, and at least it sells for a good amount of caps. The Legion raid camp doesn't have much that's good either, so we leave with only a helmet, some healing powder, and some Legion denaries. Near Novak, we run into the local homeless population, where instead of giving them spare change, we just lodge some shotgun pellets into their already dying livers. Since this is a named location, we also get to loot this one Viper with a 9mm submachine gun. Instead of going to Novak just yet, we decide to make a stop at Ranger Station Charlie, where I wanted to get an NCR disguise for the monorail. We managed to kill this NCR Ranger that had a cowboy repeater, but I don't think the clothes actually count as faction clothes, and we don't touch the monorail anyways, so this was a slightly useless detour. Once we finally reach Novak, we go over to the Dinobite gift shop, where I steal that gun out of Cliff's closet area, either to sell or use because either way it's a good pickup. Down the road at Old Lady Gibson's, we perform a panty raid, but we only come out with 3 stim packs instead. Oh shoot. We make a stop at Helios 1 where I once again have the idea that we are going to use the monorail, so we kill this NCR soldier and take his armor. And then right next to Helios 1 is the Black Rock Cave. Inside we fight and kill a Nightkin with a bumper sword, but we wanted to test our luck, so we press further ahead, and we eventually run into a Nightkin Master, who actually went down a lot quicker than I would have thought with the help of Chopper. The Nightkin Master had a heavy incinerator on him that was worth a shit ton of caps. We take it to Old Lady Gibson's and sell it for all of her caps. Our big brain, little dick energy allows us to lure this Viper gang leader over to this gas station. Since this is a new area, it's a good time to rip this man's flesh from his body, that way we can open him up and see what loot comes out. Which, after the last slash, it ends up being a grenade rifle and some reinforced leather armor. In the El Dorado Dry Lake, we kill all the ants that would get in our way, then we lure the Lonesome Drifter over into the Dry Lake. That way we can kill him and obtain the mysterious Magnum off his corpse, along with his Sheriff Duster we'll never use. The next nearby thing I want to loot is the El Dorado substation, where this young military man kindly allows me to sneak up behind him and decapitate him. I do the exact same thing when we reach the 188 trading post, before heading over to Boulder City, where I sneak into where Jessup and his buddy are held up, and I kill the blonde guy, before sneaking behind Jessup, and we continue slashing until the screams are stopped. I also decided that Jessup was probably the best loot, so we loot him while we're here. Beyond the 188 is this deserted shack that we prowl around like we're a Siberian tiger, stalking the woods for a weak little succulent deer. We scour the area, not really finding anything, but just around the corner was this tasty little morsel of loot, in the form of an NCR Ranger. He hands me a radio, and we proceed to pay that kindness with slashing him over and over again, until he drops his 357 Magnum. I decided to go way out of my way to the Repcon headquarters, but I immediately settle on the Fiend corpse with a lever-action shotgun. Another Fiend ends up following me over to this alien ant farm, and we slice his nipples clean off of his body, that way we can obtain the plasma rifle he had on him. I made my way back towards the Hoover Dam, where we pick up the snow globe as our loot, then head all the way over to Driver Neffy, where we kill all of his friends in front of him before he succumbs to our cleaver and hands us his loot. Jumping over to the sacked caravan, we loot this one Van Graff with combat armor, and I didn't want to leave the other Van Graff here alone, so I decided to make a big money move, and I drag his corpse all the way from the bridge over to the mole rat farm. So let's go. Alright. Oh wait. Yep, I got it. Yes! In the Crimson Caravan, we use our golf club to smack a dent into Alice McLafferty's noggin like our name was Tiger Woods. We take her caps and head over to the Mormon fort when we reach Freeside. That way we can have 6,000 caps worth of snow globes to turn in. Before we turn in those snow globes, we pay our favorite glorified mall security cop Swank a visit. I don't think he liked what I had to give him though. We then brutalize Benny with a baton, before his body went back up. Before we leave Benny, we take a little peeky inside his pocket and decide this is the man to loot. With Benny dead, we head over to the sex spot Jane to turn in our caps. Then we talk to Mr. House to get our 1,000 caps for the platinum chip. Once the platinum chip is back in my hands, we head down to the basement and kill Mr. House. Yay! This allows us to install Yes Man. On our journey to Cottonwood Cove, we made a stop at Brockflower Cave, where we got through a horde of giant rats. That way we can obtain the badass Rat Slayer unique varmint rifle. When we make it to Cottonwood Cove, we decide to grab the 2 caravan shotguns in this locker. Then I wanted to make sure we were good on armor, so I ran all the way back to Camp Golf and I stole this combat armor off this shelf. With this armor, I now feel really good about taking out the Legion. At Fortification Hill, we throw some grenades inside Caesar's tent and get a few kills before running back outside, where we use our police baton to kill the rest of them. Down the hill, I kill a couple more legionaries and ended up taking this 12.7mm submachine gun. We make it all the way to the end of the bunker and install the platinum chip.
I think we're gonna get attacked by Legion assassins very soon, so... Boy oh boy am I happy for that.
After making that little prediction, I immediately eat my words because the Legion shows up. I start out by shooting them with our grenade rifle, then switched over to Neffy's driver to finish them off, looting the wrong legionary. I meant to loot the one with the super sledge, but wasn't paying enough attention and looted the one with the 44 Magnum instead. Shortly after, we make our way to Bonnie Springs, and after seeing this one green-haired Viper gang leader, I unleash my inner Chris Brown and start smacking some hoes. I then take all of her stuff as loot, including Love and Hate, which is a unique set of brass knuckles. With that little detour out of the way, we make our journey to Red Rock Canyon, and wait until nighttime to kill Papa Khan in his sleep. I loot this one great Khan that had a 12.7mm pistol on him. Then over at the drug lab we kill Jack and Diane, and choose to loot Diane because of the 10mm pistol and the buff out. Now that the great Khans are taken care of, we go all the way to Nellis. While there, we help Argyle heal his patients, went over to Pete to hear the story of his people, and then talk them up really good, that way they like us more. I fixed the arrays for Loyal and made my way down to the Nellis entrance. Since it's a different location, I can grab this missile launcher off this boomer, which was a really good call considering he had 16 missiles on him. Loyal asked me to raise the lady in the lake, so we can finally gain the support of the boomers. We swim our happy asses all the way to this crashed airplane, and attach a couple of ballasts to each wing. Then finally we use a detonator to blow it up, and secure the help of the boomers back at Pearl. Inside the Hidden Valley bunker, we put our new missile launcher to good use. There were so many explosions it was almost like we were in a Michael Bay film. I also used the pulse grenades to kill Ramos, and whoever else was down there with him. I sneak my way down to the bottom floor using my stealth boy. When we reach the lower level, we go crackhead with an 8-ball and a 2x4 mode. We wail on them for a while, and turn our grenade launcher sights towards the room full of failed Bob the Builder clones. You can't really fix it if your arms and your head are blown off your body. Speaking of blowing things, we managed to kill Elder McNara and his bodyguards with our Neffy driver. With everyone dead, we take our loot for this place in the form of the Super Sledge, and blow it the fuck up. Since I haven't killed the Omertas in a playthrough in a while, we make sure to stop in and use their heads for practice on our golf swing, making sure we really kill Big Sal. Not stopping the chaos on the strip, we make our way to the White Gloves and kill Mortimer, and the only deserving way I could think of, by blowing his head off with the Rat Slayer. Before leaving the White Gloves, we crush Marjorie's major organs with our Super Sledge, allowing us to head to the Eldorado substation to install the override chip. And we start the battle for the Hoover Dam, baby. Let's go! Luckily for these heavy NCR troopers, we brought enough speech with us today. So instead of turning the inside of their helmets into tomato soup, we decide to lie to them and install the override chip. We flip the light switch and watch as the boomers almost burn my Securitron to ashes back outside. That's okay because I turned my back on him for 2 seconds at the end of the dam and found these 2 Praetorians standing over his corpse. We make sure to avenge him by killing them with the Rat Slayer. With our high speech, we convinced the Legate that he'd be a little bitch if he didn't fight us one-on-one. He took the challenge like a kid that's about to stick a Lego brick up his nose just because he thinks he can do it. Unfortunately for the Legate, however, we had 2 doses of turbo on us today and we absolutely rip his ass to shreds. Or I guess turn his insides into the tomato soup we were talking about earlier. After that, we talk to Genoa Oliva and blow him up with our rocket launcher before talking to Yes Man and beating New Vegas with only 1 looted container per named location. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a hate comment. This has been Right Red RPG with a New Vegas video. Bye.
And so the Courier's Road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued. Blood was spilled, and many lived and died, just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.